Yo, people, welcome back to the Soccer PM podcast hosted by your boy George, aka Durag Diaries, or Bandit if you're hearing it from D. I am joined today by my co-hosts, D from Fam Zone TV, Dean from Fam Zone TV, and then Halftime Hooks. It's in the name itself, it's the channel, Halftime Hooks. What's everyone saying?
All good, man.
Good, man. Same old.
Yeah, I thought I would dash away the individual introduction because you're a champion, but you're not really a champion because it's been like a month, innit? Even though you're still it's one of them ones. I'm not gonna introduce you that way, no. I'm not gonna introduce you that way, Dean, innit? Like it's been a while. It's been a while. You gotta dust it off. And we know news has been released. The fixtures have dropped for the 2025 to 2026 season. So instead of looking backwards, we are looking onwards to what is to come. But before we get into any of that stuff, make sure you are subscribing to all of our channels. It's in the banner at the bottom. You could see it. This episode will be released every Thursday at 6 p.m. But starting there, I'm going to go to Hooks. Is it a conspiracy? Have Arsenal been robbed again?
You're funny.
I don't know, because that's the news in social media right now. Arsenal versus Manchester United, first game of the season. Big game, probably one of the biggest ones you could get. How you feeling about that?
I don't know, man. Like I got two kind of perspectives on it. Like one of it is like it's a crazy exciting game for the first game of the season. You know, I can't lie. Going to Old Trafford, I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal go to Old Trafford this early in the season. Both teams have a big point to prove. You know, I feel like Arsenal need to start next season like firing from the get-go, especially considering like the 5 games that come after that. Manchester United, we all know they had a woeful season, so they got a point to prove. They're gonna have a whole preseason with Amorim, so they'll probably come out stronger. I don't know. It's just it's gonna be a spectacle. You know, it's a game I would have preferred to have seen after like both teams had built up a bit of momentum and warmed their way up into the season. But hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. Play everyone twice. You know, at the end of the day, Arsenal need to win the majority of their games. Doesn't really matter when they come. So, yeah, man, I don't really mind it, man. I think the Manchester United fans will care more about that first game fixture than I do, to be honest. Because for them, if they lose to Arsenal, first game of the season at their ground, boy, their new season's starting off dark already. So, yeah, man, you know, we'll swing with the big boys and let everybody else play the cannon for the first game, innit? You know, it's who we are, man. We're a big team. You get me? We're gonna have to face the big team sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? So, and the conspiracy thing, yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know how to. I don't know how they would set up the conspiracy. I don't know how they would do it. Like for me, there's like to configure like 20 teams fixtures to say that Arsenal's have been like specifically intentionally shafted. I don't know how you could make that claim. So yeah, man, is what it is. Have to play everyone twice. I'm more concerned about the follow-up fixtures than the actual Old Trafford game, to be fair.
Yeah, and going into that from there, just so people that are watching know, if you haven't seen it already, Arsenal's first game is Manchester United away. Onwards from that, they have Leeds at home, Liverpool away, Nottingham Forest at home, City at home, and then Newcastle away. So a very, very tricky first 6 games. Or are they not? How do you think of it, D?
Wait, just quickly, do you know what's mad as well? Do you know in our first 6 games and our last 6 games, we played Man City and Newcastle back-to-back?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, with all the fixtures, it's like that. I think they just do a flip of the fixtures. So however they are in the other end, they tend to flip it around and you'll see the fixtures are in the same order or similar orders. So all the fixtures that, like saying you've got Newcastle, City and Nottingham Forest, it'll be very similar. They'll all be near each other. But D, what do you think about your first 6 games? Obviously last year it was said that Arsenal had a tough start. Are you looking at this as a tough start, or is it just, look, you got to play these teams anyway, so if they're at the start or the end, it doesn't make a difference?
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, before last year we had this mistake of looking at fixtures and yeah, because we had a good start last year. We had just an equally hard start last year on paper, and we had a good start. We had Aston Villa away first game of the season, then we had Tottenham, Man City, and we had all these teams in the first 5-6 games, Brighton. So we had a hard start last year. We got through it. This year, I'm looking at it as it's a chance to cement ourselves as the front runners. That's how I'm seeing the complete opposite as I saw it last year. Last year, I was a bit, we've got the hard teams, and if we get through it, then we've got this. But we ended up losing to the Bournemouths and drawing with the Fulhams and that anyway. So this year, I'm seeing it as catch them cold. You got a chance to play Liverpool away from home immediately. They ain't got a clue how Verts or this player or these guys are. You catch them cold. You don't want them. You don't want to play Liverpool away in the last 3 games, just like we had this year. You'd rather play them in the first 3 games or first 4 games. So I'm seeing it as Man United away. You get a chance to just cement and solidify that and put Man United in the dumps. Then you play Leeds. Then you got to play Newcastle away. Solidify. Like you can literally, if we come out of this 1 point off the lead or 1 point ahead at the top of the table, give or take 1 or 2 points, we're in a seriously strong position because we've got Man City, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Man United and Nottingham Forest in the first 6 games.
It's crazy.
You can't get much harder than that. And not only that as well, we've got the 2 hardest away grounds to go to in the league. St. James's Park and Anfield. 2 hardest. And we've got Old Trafford as well. Obviously, we know that's tough. Man City at home. We get through those games where I see ourselves as front runners. You got to remember, I know you're shaking your head because Old Trafford away, but Arsenal don't beat United at Old Trafford.
But Old Trafford is no longer the fortress that you're talking about. If you look at Man United's record over the last 2 years, especially under Amorim, forget even 2 years, under Amorim, their Old Trafford record is dreadful in the Premier League. They lost against
maybe so, but it's still a extremely tricky fix on the first day of the season. Like no one's looking at Old Trafford like, yeah, that's an easy away win.
I don't think we've.
I just think you don't want to verse a Man United team with a new lease of life in it, with that front line of potentially Mbomo, Cunha, and whether it's Gyökeres.
But that's what we've got. You know, it's going to be
that's
fresh. Beginning of the season, you know, it's fresh. You know, it's like, oh, it's exciting. You know what it's going to be like first game of the season. They've got us, and I just feel like we can put ourselves. I'm not looking at it as the glass half empty, where if we don't win it, we're going to be out the title race already. I'm looking at it as this is an opportunity. You've seen the fixtures now, so you know it's going to be 100 miles per hour from the jump, from the goal. So now you got to go and sign the players. It should speed them up in the market, really, to be like, yeah, it's time to get busy and get to work. I see it as an opportunity to cement ourselves as the front runners, get all the hard games out of the way, beat them, top of the table. You got an opportunity to be up there right amongst it. That's how I see it. We fell away too much last year to Liverpool. We gave Liverpool too much of a lead. We got to stay 1 point, within 1 point, or be ahead by 1 point after these final 6 games. Because you got to remember, after that, the games are not easy. Brentford is not easy. Brighton, Fulham, these are not easy teams. There's no givens anymore in the Premier League. So I have to see it as a chance to cement ourselves, man.
And speaking of Liverpool, yeah, I think the best chance that we'll ever have of beating them at Anfield is game 3 of a season when they're not warmed up. That's where I see it. Like, there's no momentum behind Liverpool. Like, they've probably played one other home game. Who knows? Maybe they've won one, lost one. Neither team are going into it with too much of a backstory. It's just early on in the season. Maybe some cold legs still. I think it's a real good chance to take 3 points at Anfield. And something so amazing about Arsenal's fixture list this season is by early January, we would have played Liverpool home and away. So they won't even have a part to play in potentially derailing any kind of title charge that we have, or there'll be no we'll have to play Liverpool towards the latter part of the season and it could be neck and neck, and if they beat us then we're out of it. Like, there's going to be none of that next season. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's silver linings throughout our fixture list.
And Dean, obviously, like they've mentioned your team a few times, you're gonna be reigning champions when you go into that fixtures just on the 30th of August, 3 games into the season. Are you looking forward to that game? Are you looking at this Arsenal early Arsenal fixture? What was you gonna say?
What was that?
No, man, it's madness.
Arsenal, I'm not sure.
Early Arsenal fixture. Are you looking at this one as a game to be feared, or are you relishing this one? Like, let's get them done out of the way early.
Let me put you on game first, yeah. If you ain't got this, the back of the fridge, touching the back of the fridge right now, I don't know what you are doing. This with weather, you need these back of the fridge, touching the back of the fridge. Has to be touching. Has to be par frozen, yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Next time, Dean's not going to have the authority to start doing sponsorship deals about them paying us. It's madness. Nobody said that.
In case they're watching,
paying us. When they start paying us, we can start doing that. I don't know.
It's a freebie in case they are here. But you know what? I like what Hooks is saying because I hear it. See, my thing was this year. I've got to play everyone, innit? I've got to play everyone twice. Wherever we play them wherever, innit? Hooks is on that thing where let's get Liverpool out of the way early because we might decide their fate. I don't see no one deciding our fate. As champion, now what I'm feeling right now, my confidence level's gone up compared to it was season gone. You get me? So now I'm not really fearing no one. Obviously, I'm wary of Arsenal, Man City now. I'm wary, but I'm saying if we do what we're meant to do, I don't think anyone can stop us. That's my mentality right now. If we do what we're meant to do, because we got the consistency under lock, we got that there. That I didn't know we had that in the bag. We got consistency. That we've got a way of playing. It's not the greatest, but it wins games. So all this Hooks is talking about after 3 games, we might be cold. You might be cold as well. Anfield's always warm. Anytime you go Anfield, it's going to be warm, no matter what. We can put a third team out. It's still going to be warm. Anfield's always going to have that atmosphere where it puts the players in a different level. You get me? So playing Arsenal twice early, I don't mind it, bro. I don't mind it. Like it doesn't make no difference to me because at the end of the day, we struggle against what's it called? The Brightons. Like that's them teams there proper outplayed us. You get me? That's what I'm scared of. Brighton. If they turn up, you get me? So every team, like except from the 3 that's coming up, right? Every team's a problem next season. That's how I look at it. Even Man United and Tottenham, because Tottenham's got a new manager, Man United's got new players. We don't know what's going on with Man. We don't know what's going to happen next season. We saw Amarin this season. We thought it was a scrub. He might unlock something in pre-season that we don't even know about. So these fixtures, I'm just waiting to see how everyone. I need to see how everyone's playing first before I make any assumptions on who's good to play and who's not good to play. That's like you got to play everyone twice, innit? So let's see what happens, innit?
Yeah, no, that's it, and that's how I sort of look at it. I think you play everyone twice. Obviously, there's times when you get fixture build-ups that might go against you. So there's certain points in the season where we're all going to have fixture build-up that's going to get onto us. You know, we're going to have loads of big teams back-to-back, and that's just how the Premier League is. I mean, for my club, every game's a big game. Most of the teams we're playing next season are going to be better than us, and that's the same as Man United. So you just got to look at it like, look, we're going to have to play them just like everyone else. But moving on to Liverpool and a bit more about your fixtures. Obviously, you have Arsenal in the 3rd game, but you kick the season off with a home game against Bournemouth, and then you've got an away one against Newcastle before the Arsenal game. So your first 3 fixtures, you could say, are pretty tough. And then away from that, you got Burnley away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, with Chelsea and Man United straight after that. So you've got some big games pretty early too. How are you feeling about those ones?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like our fixtures are just as hard, bro. Like Bournemouth, we saw what Bournemouth done this year. Like they're going to be just as good next year. Whether they lose players or not, they will bring players in. Like Newcastle, like you said, Newcastle's not no idiots. You go in there, like Arsenal again straight away. So, bro, every game. This is what the Premiership's about. This is why everyone wants to watch the Premiership, because every game in the Premiership is a fight now. There's no, I'm just going to go there, pick up 3 points. Can't do that no more, man. So, bro, it's good. I like it, bro. I like it. The consistency. Everyone has to be on point. You can't drop players any game. You have to play your full team every game, bro. So I think this is going to be the most competitive Premiership season so far. This one coming up next, bro. So,
most competitive Premier League season.
I think it
You know
will,
what
bro.
the thing is,
Everyone.
yeah, I feel like that's something we hear every year. But like every year, people think the Premier League is going to get better, and somehow, some way, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like the last couple of years have been poor quality wise. There's been the top teams, then the rest of them have been some way off. What makes you think this is going to be the best season coming in a while?
I just think where everyone's linked with players, everyone's got money, everyone wants to join the Premiership. This Club World Cup, this is gonna bring more awareness. Players are gonna be seen. I reckon there's gonna be a lot of transfers this summer. I reckon it's gonna be a lot of transfers. A lot of people getting moved about, and especially the 3 teams that's coming up have seen what's happened after the last few years. You don't stay up. You don't come up here playing out from the back. Someone's got to change the mode and start just playing long ball or 4-4-2 or something, or play some sort of different football. Like everyone has to be competitive this season. You can't just come up here with inferior players and think you can play like Man City. You see what happened to Southampton. These 3 teams coming up have to use their nugget and think, you know what, we have to make ourselves hard to beat. Forget this ticky-tacky rubbish. We've got to be hard to beat because otherwise they're going to go down. And I think these 3 teams should know. They should know better because it's been a common thing, bruv. 3 that go up, go down, bruv. So I think this season, yeah, man, everyone's going to be on staying up, on stuff. And every place in the Premier League, bro, it's worth big money now, bro. Every position is worth big money. So, yeah, man, everyone's on it, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt everyone's on it. And with regards to those teams that you said are coming up, they definitely do have to adapt the way they play. We saw what happened to Burnley. We've got them. They've just come in their way back. Spurs, first game of the season, return of Scott Parker, return of Marcus Edwards. We got them at home, and they're going to have to learn that, you know, you can blitz the championship all you like. We saw Company do it. Or blitz in the Premier League, it just doesn't happen. Ipswich, same thing with McKenna. They're going to have to adapt their style, and they're going to have to prepare pretty early. They've got us for their first game, Burnley. Sunderland have got West Ham at home, so that's a fairly favourable fixture for them. And then Leeds, their big return starts off at home as well against Everton. So the 2 other sides get home fixtures for that. But is there any other big games or big fixtures you boys have looked out for in the fixtures? I know ourselves, Tottenham, we've got City away, second game week of the season. And like you guys say, I feel like we tend to get City early pre-season. I'm looking at it like, let me get City while they're still figuring out. Let me get City whilst Reinders, Cherky, and Haaland don't know how to play together. Let me skip them whilst they're still warming up. And because we know, start of the season, they tend to be pretty bad. It's usually like the first
They're playing in the World Cup, this thing, they're warming up now.
No. That's what people think. They're warming up and then they go on holiday again. So then they go get fat and then they come back to pre-season. Because think of it, they haven't had a break. They went to internationals, straight after internationals. They've come back to the Club World Cup. When they get knocked out of the Club World Cup eventually and don't win it, they're going to be pissed off. They're going to go on holiday. They're going to get fat. They're going to come back to pre-season and they're not going to be ready. Spurs are going to get them second game of the season. Still warming up.
Can't believe Jules thinks of the 90s. Get fat. Get fat.
We know with some players they do. Some players they tend to go away and boy, they come back looking like whole different people. And Pep's had to get on certain players for that in the past. You know, the likes of Jack Grealish and so on. I think Bernardo Silva's been one of them, but he's now been named captain of Manchester City. What do you guys think of that? Because I think Pep come out and said something along the line. This is the first time in his career where he's actually had to choose proper captains, come in and
who's the captain?
Situation because Bernardo Silva's been named captain for this season because obviously Kevin De Bruyne left. Carl Walker was their other captain, but he left halfway through the season due to just having a bit of mess with Pep Guardiola. D, I'll bring it to you. What do you think of the situation with the captaincy for Man City and Bernardo Silva being named?
I think he's probably their most influential player now, isn't he? Like from the old guard, he's probably the best player right now. Obviously after Rodri, I would have thought maybe it could have been Rodri, but I think it's probably Because isn't Ruben Diaz? Was Ruben Diaz kind of captain as
He
well?
was one of them, but I think he's available. I don't know if you guys see, like, he's not been available that much. So they've sort of shifted him out of the team as he's not been available. And I suppose Pep needs someone that's around, but also someone he can rely upon. And Bernardo Silva, I think, is one of their most senior players at this moment in time. Been there.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. And they got a few captains like Edison, Bernardo Silva, like you say, Rodri, Diaz. They got a few captaincy options, but I feel like Bernardo Silva is probably Pep's go-to reliable player, the most reliable one that he can rely on, day in, day out to do what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? Well, obviously Rodri as well, but I think Bernardo Silva was the kind. He was there from the old guard as well, wasn't he? So I think that's what it is. But I haven't really. I know Pep said a few things with captaincy, but I'll be honest, I'm not really too fussed about their captaincy. I can't lie to you. I mean.
Are you not looking at? You know why? Because I look at it and I'm like, for Man City have been your biggest enemies the past couple of years. Let's say, right, it's not been Liverpool, it's Man City. You guys are always looking at Man City. You have the wars with Man City. You have to stay humble there with
people say that. People say that, but it's Man City's been everyone's biggest enemy.
I know, but I mean, you guys have been directly in battles with them. You guys.
I would say Liverpool. I would say Liverpool.
Not as of recent. In the last 3 years, no, it's been you over Liverpool, wouldn't you say? Liverpool.
Oh, you mean
before that, the 3 years prior. But just the last 3 years.
Yeah. You mean in terms of the title race, you mean?
Yeah. So for you, I'm looking at, I'm like, would you not want to start looking? Like, I'm paying attention to things like this, thinking, that's a crack in their armor, potentially. New captain, might not work out, could be a bit of a mess again.
No, I think their crack in their armor is the amount of players they've got. I'm looking at the players that they're signing. I'm not impressed with any of them. Not one. I'm not impressed with any of their signings. Like, I'm not, when I say impressed, I mean blown away. The last signing that I was impressed with heavily was Haaland. Every other signing, I'm not that impressed. I'm not impressed with Kusanov that much. Mamouche is a good level player.
No, Mamouche is serious.
Man said good level. What do you mean by that? Say something.
What level? I'm saying obviously he's a good player, but I'm saying serious. I'm talking about like before that was De Bruyne, David Silva. You know what I'm saying? The Yaya Torres, the Rodrigues, the Sterlings, that was Aguero. It was a different level.
My name's Sterling.
Sterling and Sane.
I can't believe, man.
Sterling and Sane.
Sterling was levels. Don't try. Sterling was levels.
There was a point where he was world class, bro.
Yeah, Sterling was levels, bro.
Sterling is well on his way, man.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't strike. When I see Mamouche on the team, in that team, there's no one on that team that strikes fear into me at all, apart from Haaland and Rodri. Like Rodri, Haaland, they're players. It's the same players. Mamouche, even Shirky's a quality player. What's the player? Randers is a good player. Like, all these guys are the same level of the guys that we're all buying, isn't it? We're all buying the same level players. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas previously they could buy players that were a level above. Yeah, I'm not worried too much about their signings. I'm more worried about Liverpool's. I'll be honest.
Well, what about you then, Dean? Because obviously, like I say, you're reigning champions, but I suppose when you're looking behind you and you're looking at teams who you're more worried about, is it Arsenal or is it City? I suppose City's the team that worries you the most, right?
No, it's still, if Arsenal get a striker, it's Arsenal for me still, bro, because I see Arsenal, they're complete. If they just get a striker, because it's bait, everyone said the same thing. Like, striker, a left winger, not even too much of a left winger. Just if they get a striker, that can push them from where they are to win the league. I don't think there's too much difference between us and Arsenal, to be honest. Man City, hold on one second. Yeah, we was talking about Man City last night. And Man City is like, when Pep first came in, he was fresh. Everything was fresh. He was just new ideas. Everything. Now, I think like, I'm not doubting Pep, but I'm just thinking the new guard's coming through. I think it's Slot, Arteta, and like you said, maybe Eddie Howe. Like, I'm not saying Eddie Howe, but Newcastle. Like, these are the teams I'm wearing. I know Man City spent money and whatnot, yeah, but if things don't click for them, I can see them finishing fourth. I can see Newcastle stepping in and taking up third place. That's what I can see happening. You get me? So I'm more worried about Arsenal than I am and Man City. And the captain thing, bro, I'll definitely be Rodri, bro. I don't see where Bernardo Silva doesn't even play. I don't know if he
Bernardo
plays.
Silva's been a mainstay in their team.
I'm saying next season. Is he playing next season?
Yeah, that's what, but he's always a mainstay in the team. That's my point. Like they all, well, his position, because he plays so many positions. He plays in the 8, plays in the 10, plays in the wing. Pep finds a way to use him, and he's always going to play. It's one of those ones, isn't it?
I think he's done. Rodri, he's here for life. Like if he's here for life, he's going to be in the team week in, week out. I can't see Bernardo Silva being in the team week in, week out with all these signings they got, bro. I don't know where he plays. Like, if everyone's there fit and firing, I don't know where he plays. And your captain on the bench, that's nasty. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. You can't have a captain on the bench.
It could be. But I suppose just looking into a bit more, because the Club World Cup was yesterday. They won 2-0 against FC Wydad or whatever the name is. You said you were doing some scouting on Rayan Cherki, and you wasn't that impressed. So talk to us a bit about the City game and what you see from their team. Some of the new signings.
The team, like I rate him highly. Jimmy, I rate Rayan Cherki like as in like one of the better attacking fielders in world football. I rate him super highly, but I think he's the type of player that requires the team to be in position behind him. Like I feel like he needs to be that guy that kind of does his thing further on, like in the 10, and is free to express himself. Like kind of how Cole Palmer is for Chelsea, but you know he's got Caicedo and all those guys behind him. Cole Palmer can kind of feel free to be free flowing. At Man City, you don't have that. Doesn't exist. All of those players, how Pep is playing right now, all of them, he's going back to real. He already done the whole. Everyone's structured and everyone in position, and the right backs and the left backs and the solid. He did that for a bit. He's won titles. Now this season he's not having it. He's going back to control, total domination. I want the ball and creative players. That is going to expose Rayan Cherki's defensive qualities and defensive attributes. That's what that's going to do. He's going to be brilliant going forward because he's a phenomenal player on the ball. But it's going to also give teams chances. If you watch the game they were playing, they were getting ripped through. I'm talking about teams. I know they haven't got Rodri playing, but they all had teams. This team was running through them, and their left back Al Nouri is an attacking player.
Yeah,
Al Nouri is a left back. He's not a defensive left back. So you're going to have constant spaces, constant to get through to this team. I think it's quite risky what he's done. It's brave. Guardiola is very brave from Guardiola because he's gone ultra. You know what? We had a bad season. I'm going to go ultra football. It's very, very, very brave, but it's high risk, high reward, isn't it? And that's what he's banking on. But sorry,
try and do the Barca thing, innit?
He's trying to go back to how it was at Barcelona, which was obviously probably the greatest team of our generation, but probably maybe of all time. But that it's a lot harder to do it with Rayan Cherki instead of Messi. You understand? It's very, very, very different. It's very, very different. And
I think they're missing those mavericks in their team and those players that just make something from nothing. Now, Rayan Cherki could potentially be that next season, but even then, having someone who's because they have ball carriers, but I don't think they necessarily have gifted dribblers. Like
they don't have ball carriers. They've only got one in Doku. The rest of their players that with the ball, even you got to remember they've got to fit in Foden, Bernardo Silva, Rayan Cherki, because Grealish is leaving. Obviously, Haaland stays up top, and then they got Nunes at right back, Al Nouri left back.
Nunes is still going to be right back. They've
got no right backs.
Surely they haven't signed the right back yet as of yet. They've not.
It'll be Nunes.
It'll be Nunes in it. Maybe an inverted role, or maybe a Kanji or something like that. Rico Lewis.
Rico Lewis probably.
I feel like Rico Lewis had a setback season last year, so I feel like I probably want to see him.
Can't stand it.
See him playing. You are right, D. I think you're making a good point. I think they've got a lot of players in very similar positions that Pep's going to have to find a way to work them. He's going to have to find a way to get them all playing together. Because one thing that I've noticed is I think him, Foden, Bernardo Silva, Marmoush all pick up similar areas on the pitch. Neither of them are out on the wing. They're all inside that 18-yard area of the middle of the pitch. They all want to get the ball in there.
That's what Pep wants. That is what he wants. That's what he wants right now. He wants to control that ball. But I'm telling you, you play Liverpool with that team, you're gonna have a problem with the Salah and the Gakpos and those guys. They're gonna find that space. He had a big problem when when Klopp had Mane, Salah, and Firmino, it was and this has got Man City's best team, and it was a real back and forth every single game. It was a big issue for them to try and contain Salah and Mane. Every game, it was an issue. It's going to be a big problem trying to contain Salah and Mane with you when you got Almorian and Nunes at right and left back.
It's a madness.
I feel like that's been a constant for Man City. I feel like he's going back to how City played maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when he was a bit earlier into his Premier. Like I said, against the Klopp teams, when he was really going all out attacking. The only way to beat them was sitting in the transition. Is just sitting back, catching them in the transition, but they leave so many holes and spaces in behind because the players that they have all step up so high and push forward and so attacking. But just to talk a bit more about some of the other Club World Cup games, because obviously we've seen Chelsea also play. They had a 2-0 win against LAFC, and Real Madrid 1-1 draw with Al Hilal. Probably been the biggest, say not upset, but biggest surprise of the tournament.
And they got outplayed as well.
Yeah. To talk about that, D. Talk about that.
Real Madrid got outplayed. They got outplayed. Rodrygo had a bit of magic, a brilliant pass, but Real Madrid got outplayed. I'm telling you, I was really shocked because when I saw the Real Madrid team lineup, I was looking at it thinking, okay, yeah, Real Madrid, they got their first team. It's a brilliant team. But when I saw Al Hilal's lineup, I was in shock. I could not believe the players that they have.
They got some big Ruben Neves and that out there. Like
Ruben Neves, Koulibaly, Savic, Lodi, Cancelo. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was thinking, what is this? You forget because over the years you always see, oh yeah, this player's going to Saudi, that player's going to Saudi, but you actually forget who's actually gone.
They got a team full of like European stars now. It's like all the European players from a couple of years.
It's crazy that this team would not get relegated in the Premier League. They would stay up. They were all over Real Madrid, and then even some of the other teams. I was thinking Tony, Mane. This team that played, they played for a different team, but this team that played Real Madrid, they didn't even have Mitrovic playing. And there was a guy playing called Salem or Halem or something like that. I've never heard of him before. Don't know who he is. He might have come from the Turkish league, or he could have come, because they're not just picking up the big players from England and from Spain. They're also picking up the gems from all over the world as well. That's what we're forgetting. There was a guy called Halem or Salem. I was thinking, why don't we buy him? Who's this guy? Like, he was I'm telling you, I think he's a captain. He's like a.
Let me see.
He's an attacking midfielder. This guy, but I'm telling you, you're looking at it thinking, who on earth is that? And I don't know where he's come from. Somebody might be like,
he's on the left wing. Salam Al-Dawasari.
He might. I don't know where he's come from. I don't know who that is. But he's a quality player though.
Know how mad? He's 33 years of. He's 33. He's only ever played at Al Hilal for 11 years, bro. For 14 years, sorry. 14 years he's been at Al Hilal.
Well, he had a great game. I'll tell you that much. But like I say, you forget how many players have gone over to Saudi. So, and like I say, they got people like John Duran. They're picking up players. Yeah, like in the equivalent of in England of like say, I don't know, they might pick up like a Mateta. But across the world, we wouldn't know who Mateta is in Spain.
Yeah,
do you get me? We wouldn't know the Mateta version of in Spanish in La Liga, but they're picking up those guys as well. So it's a quality. They were all over Real Madrid. I don't know how if Real Madrid are playing at 120%, and they're probably playing at like 90% because they had their full team. They're still trying to win the game, but it was.
Remember, it's Lonzo's first game in it. So whether they've got down to
and Inzaghi.
Oh yeah, for real. It's Inzaghi's first game as well. No excuses. No excuses. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I heard Trent had a really bad game.
I heard. Well,
yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't as bad as they're making.
He just played his normal game.
He had the ball a lot, but the difference is their team is different. Alonso, you can tell he's a because I've never watched Leverkusen, so I don't actually know exactly how he plays.
They play.
We played them in pre-season. We battered them, but I know he presses like Alonso's
high.
He's a go and get the ball. Trent is playing centre midfield. Like I know, obviously inverted, but he's playing. You see how Arteta plays and how Guardiola plays and all that. Alonso's another one of them. And the team were forgetting. They kept forgetting to press, and then they would remember, and then Rodrygo would be like, "Oh yeah," and then go and then Vinicius will go, oh yeah, and then they go, they think, oh yeah, that's what we got to do, because no, Real Madrid are a sit back team, really, isn't it? They kind of
Ancelotti just said, no, don't worry about it. You got a good better than the other team. That's what Ancelotti plays on vibes, isn't it?
And when you get the ball, we'll make it work. But Alonso presses, and I think that's what kind of is going to give Trent a few problems, because he's going to get the ball a lot as well. So you're going to see some serious. You're going to see it. He's playing centre midfield more or less. So you're going to see it.
Because I saw the goal, and to me, Trent was at fault for the goal. Because like
that wasn't the goal. What goal?
The goal. I swear he's tracking back, and he's not even like he's not even looking.
That was that was offside.
That was offside. Okay.
That goes offside.
Even in that like scenario, like I understand he's moved into the midfield, but he's not even paying attention to the brother that's actually running down the side that he should be defending.
Yeah, you know he's not my player no more. You know that he's not my player no more. You know that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's like
my player.
No, because I saw a lot of Real Madrid fans online, like pretty much saying the exact same things that I've seen Liverpool fans say about Trent for time, like his defensive frailties, and like it literally got exposed in the first game, like literally the first game. And yeah, I hear it. Maybe he's adapting to a new way of playing to a degree, but I don't know how different it is playing in a slot system to
cost him now until he starts putting up them numbers in assists and playing them passes. Then they'll accept it. They'll say, you know what, this guy is a baller, isn't it? Like we have to accept that we're going to concede a couple of goals, but we should be good enough to win games. You get me? This is what we have to compromise with. We know everyone knows that Trent's not the best defender. Sometimes he's not interested in defending, but around that corner in that crevice, he can pass it there. You know that. You get me? So he can unlock anything, and that's the things you got to give and take. Them sort of players, man. To have a right back that can do what he does here, there's going to be some negativity to his game, man. So I think they know what they signed up, innit? They know what they signed up. Everyone knows what Trent's about. So I think it's his first game. It is what it is, innit? I'm not making excuses for him, by the way, but yeah, everyone knows what Trent's about, innit?
Yeah,
can't defend. And it's funny now how you're saying it now. All Liverpool fans want to say it now. Oh, Trent can't defend. Yeah, we're going to see the
can't defend.
The first thing you said when he said,
I said sometimes he's not interested in defending.
No, when Hook said Trent didn't have a good game, the first thing he said is, yeah, he can't defend anyway. Like, we're seeing something.
I can't wait to watch his back. I said, we all know that he sometimes he can't. He's
now you want to add sometimes, but you didn't add the sometimes.
What did I say? What did I say?
Didn't say he sometimes can't defend before. He said it quite clearly. He can't defend, but it's fine. It's fine.
I need an apology later on. Once you watch it back, I need an apology though. I ain't gonna lie to no
one. But you mentioned Rodrygo. And obviously I know Rodrygo has been linked with a big move over to the Premier League. And potentially going over to your club. So, what do you think about that potential move? And how was he playing? Did he look good yesterday?
He's playing on the right. None of their players looked good yesterday, to be honest with you. But he's playing on the right. He created the assist for the goal. Maybe their striker, when Mbappe was injured, so he had a guy called Garcia, a youngster, and he scored. And then Rodrygo had a brilliant pass. Like, Rodrygo's a difference maker in the final third. Like, that's what he is. Like, he always makes the right pass. He can make the killer passes, and he scores goals. He's a difference maker. He's not really like certain players like Hazards that control the game for the whole game, and they're the main. He's not like that. He's more of a moments player, difference maker in the final third. That's what he is, a goal scoring winger and chance creator in the last bit. So that's exactly what Arsenal need. Like
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you've got Saka who runs games on the right wing. You keep getting the ball to him, he can run a game by himself. He can keep just running at his man and keep doing take-ons, keep trying. He's one of those players. But Rodrygo is one of the players, you keep giving it to Saka, he will distract them, and eventually Rodrygo is going to be the guy that pops up with the goal. He's the guy that you've been missing for the past season. You need someone that could just pop up with goals every now and then without needing to, be around for the whole game performing. Hooks, you've obviously spoken about him briefly a few times before, but what do you think about the potential move of Rodrygo to Arsenal? And is this the game-changing move that you need to make happen?
100% it's a game-changing move, man. Like, Rodrygo, his talent's undeniable, innit? Like, I personally think from a technical perspective, I think he's better than Vinicius. I just think his brand is not as big. I think that's where he suffers at Real Madrid as well. It's like he's kind of overshadowed by the likes of Bellingham and Mbappe. Vinicius, like the names are just too big, and for too long he's just been left out, stranded on the right wing. It's not even his position. I'm surprised he hasn't moved sooner, personally, to like a team, because I think the only team where he's forced to play on the right is Real Madrid. I think if he goes to any other team, he plays on the left. I can't think of too many teams that Rodrygo goes to and the left wing just isn't his position. So I don't know, maybe because obviously when it comes to Brazilians, they've always got that like, I dream to play for Madrid or I dream to play for Barca. So maybe he got to the team that he dreamt of playing for and he was just happy to settle and just play wherever because it's Real Madrid, right? But I'm surprised that no one's picked him up sooner. I'm actually surprised that no one's really pushing that hard to get him. Like from talks, it seems like Arsenal's pushing the hardest and Chelsea are there or thereabouts, but it doesn't seem like anyone's really breaking their neck to ensure that they get Rodrygo into their team. Like there's loads of teams that could do with Rodrygo, and that's not even just in the Premier League. Like that's in Serie A, Bundesliga. Like even a Bayern could do with someone like a Rodrygo. So I'm just confused as to why so many people aren't going in for him. But I think his talent's undeniable. I've had to see Martinelli and Trossard on the left wing. So do I doubt that Rodrygo can do something there for Arsenal? Not at all. If he comes into Arsenal at the same point that a clinical number 9 is coming in as well, it's only going to make his first season easier at Arsenal. It could be a bit harder if we don't, and then it's like, cool, he's trying to assist people, but there's no one really there, barring Saka and maybe Havertz the odd time or so, just putting the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, I think it will be like I would liken the kind of signing to like Sanchez when Arsenal signed Sanchez. That's the kind of thing that I'm seeing in it. I feel like he'll be able to have that level of impact. Whether he does the exact same impact as Sanchez, it will be to be seen. But I definitely think from the profile of the player and how good he is, I think he could come to Arsenal and have a similar sort of impact. So yeah, man, I don't know. Rodrygo is my number 1 target for the left wing. There's no one else that like I really want. Like there's a few other names that's like, yeah, cool, but because like Rodrygo, the prospect of signing Rodrygo has been like, you get me, dangled in front of my eyes. Like it's like, cool, I only want Rodrygo now until it's like, okay, cool, maybe Xabi Alonso's
until you get rejected and then you start you're dead anyway and start moving on to anyone.
No, not even that. Not even like I'm dead anyway.
Arsenal fan thing, you're dead anyway.
No, not even that.
It wasn't even going to work in the system. Right wing. No, man.
That's a lot of people say that Rodrygo's not the player Arsenal need because of the system anyway. Like I saw someone say they need a touchline winger.
Yeah.
Not an inside dribbling, something like that. And I was just looking at it thinking, you don't want a player that can potentially score 20, 25 goals a season because he's not a touchline winger.
Touchline wingers are players that will get the ball away from goals, so they're less likely to score because they've got the ball on the touchline, innit? They're always receiving it high and wide rather than inside.
But they say Arsenal need a touchline winger. That's what this person was saying anyway. Like, he's not the guy we need because we need a touchline winger. Like, I'm just like, bruv, what we do need is Rodrygo, left wing. That's That's what we need. And and Hawks is spot on. It's exactly the same as Sanchez. It's not even similar. It's exactly the same. Like they're very, very not like obviously different attributes, but it's exactly the same type of signing. A player that is a final third difference maker, doesn't control games, is not going to be. He's just a danger for the whole game, but he's not a controller or a super like a Hazard or a Saka who are fairly similar in terms of the way they play, like constantly receiving the ball and constantly trying to drive at their defense. He's not that type of player. He's a goal scoring winger, really. It's exactly the same as Sanchez to me. It's exactly the similar type of way. But we've got to be careful because if we're going for Rodrygo and it's a possibility, so is everyone else.
Yeah.
That's what we're forgetting. So are Man City, so are Chelsea, because Chelsea need a left winger.
You're right. No, you're right. But even me as a Tottenham fan, I can recognize that you guys are in a stronger position than most teams to sign a player like him because Arsenal finished second. You've been in a good position. You've got a good squad of players right now where it's primed to compete. So unlike Chelsea and unlike some of these other European sides, for one, Arsenal can offer him the money, but also offer him the ambition and the team to match his ambition to actually go out there and compete, which I don't think many other teams can do.
They're Brazilians as well.
You think that Chelsea can?
Not match the ambition. They don't look like they can match that ambition right now.
Why not?
They're
in the Champions League. They just won the Conference Cup.
The signings
they pay higher wages. They need a left winger now.
But you have to look at all the other signings they've made. They're not ready to compete yet. They're not ready to take on the Premier League. You just got to look at
why do you think that?
Because the signings they've made currently don't lead me to think that this is a team that can compete for the league. Whereas Arsenal, the signing Zubimendi, that's almost confirmed. If you sign a player like Rodrygo on top of the team you already have, it looks like a very solid base. And he's already seen the foundation of the last 2 to 3 years where you've competed. Yeah, the competition hasn't been as good, and we can laugh at how it panned out eventually. But a player like Rodrygo would know if I come into this side, it's a completely different team already.
Yeah, and plus he saw you got battered them last season as well.
He played against us.
He played against you, man. And you'd be like, "Raw, these man are different, bro." I think he'd be very attracted to a move by Arsenal. I think it'll be pushed by whether he, like Hook says, his dream was to play for Real Madrid. If his dream was to play for Real Madrid, he may never leave, and it may just be that he wants to go Real Madrid. But apart from that, I can't see why Arsenal wouldn't be an attractive move for him.
I think Arsenal would be the most attractive for him, especially.
But that means for anyone then, for any player then.
Nah, not for any player, not anyone.
Why not?
Now he's trying to twist our words. We're saying something.
No,
What's the difference between Rodrygo and for Arsenal and Isaac?
Because you can say, bruv, our left wing is needed, isn't it? That's what we need.
So our striker is that.
So we need a striker. We need a striker. We don't need a left winger. If we need a left winger, I would say we're the most attractive. Yeah, us.
Okay, let me ask Bandit that then.
Yes.
So do you think that if Rodrygo was going to have the option between Liverpool and Arsenal, do you see Liverpool as more of an attractive option than Arsenal? Because I don't.
What?
You're
more attractive than us.
I don't necessarily.
Right now, because I'll look at your team as Van Dijk, Trent's gone, Salah. I'm looking at it like it feels like you're in a transition.
Verts is in, you know. Trent's gone, Verts in.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It looks like you're in a transition. It feels like you're going from top draw class, and then you're trying to stay at the top. That's what it looks like, and you got to acquire those players to get up there. Arsenal feel like they're all at the same. If Rodrygo comes in, he'll be at the same stage as everyone else.
I know, but he hasn't seen you win nothing. There's no guarantee. He's seen a guaranteed winning manager here. This guy's guaranteed won something already. So he knows.
Yeah, I agree with it. I
think it would be very unfair to say that Arsenal more attractive than Liverpool when Liverpool just attracted Florian Wirtz from 3 other massive clubs. He chose them over a lot of teams. So I don't know.
I'm saying, but you said Rodrygo. So would Rodrygo rather go Liverpool than Arsenal, you think?
I'd say at this moment in time, if Liverpool really wanted him, Liverpool would be the team that he would choose. But obviously, onwards from what we actually know, the reality of what it is, I think Arsenal's the most attractive proposition for him right now.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Arsenal's definitely the most, because, bruv, you get him and a striker, your team's there, innit, really. That's the bottom line to it, innit? Left winger, striker, you're there where you're meant to be. Now we don't know who's gonna win the league now. Yeah, we just don't know.
Rodrygo, Gyökeres, Arsenal win the league. What with Zubimendi already coming in?
2 + 2 = 4, innit? Hooks makes these things.
Rodrygo, Gyökeres.
No, I hear what he's saying. If I was Hooks, I'll say the same thing. I'll definitely say that. If I'm an Arsenal fan, Rodrygo, Gyökeres, we win the league. That's what I'll say the same. I'll go even further. I'll say we win the league and the Champions League. We talking about?
What front three? Like all jokes
Forget
aside.
Rodrygo.
What front three is better than Saka, Gyökeres, and Rodrygo?
In fact, forget Rodrygo. Let's take Rodrygo out of there. Hook said it last season.
He didn't like it.
He said it last season. He said just Gyökeres is needed. Gyökeres is the difference between them and the difference between them in the Champions League. So forget Rodrygo.
I'm not these new men, you know. I'm not these new men, you know. I've been screaming Gyökeres for like nearly 3 years now. I didn't jump on the bandwagon late. I didn't do all of that. But he's in the
not 3 years, maybe 1 year, maybe not 3.
What? Bro, I've been screaming Gyökeres for time. Bro, I was watching
there's only that's been a year. So there's only been evidence for a year. So
wait.
On YouTube. Yeah, cool. On YouTube.
I don't care what you said.
I've only been on YouTube for a year.
If you said it in a back alley with next man, I don't care.
Back alley with next man is crazy.
Well, clearly that's.
So Hooks been screaming since he was at Coventry. Then you wanted them.
I was watching him for a year, bro. I was watching him when he was at Coventry, bro.
On that note, people, Hooks is lying, so we'll end. Yeah, we're gonna have to end the show there because I'm watching him at Coventry. Apparently,
I wanted Arsenal to buy Coventry.
He was watching him before he got signed to Lisbon. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I bet he was watching at Brighton as well because he played for Brighton before Coventry.
You forget. Yeah, that my actual where I was born. My closest
Norwich is my second team.
So I actually watch Championship football from time to time.
So when you asked by a Championship striker,
you forget the very first watch along I did on my channel was a Championship game, Leeds versus I think it was Sheffield United or Sunderland, one of the two. So you forget I watch Championship football.
I'm not saying you don't watch Championship. I know you didn't watch Gyökeres and Coventry.
I'm not the guy.
Coventry was not a good Championship team, so you definitely didn't watch them. On that note, people. Thank you for watching another episode of Soccer PM. As you can see in the ticker at the bottom, make sure you subscribe to all of our channels for myself, Durag Diaries, Fam Zone TV for D and Dean, and then Halftime Hooks for Hooks. Every 6 p.m. we will be released Thursday. Yeah, man. But until next time, it's been our pleasure. We'll be back. Yeah, man. Peace.